Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over 47 Democrats that are on the GOP's target list in 2022. House Minority Leader McCarthy said that he will bet his house that the House will go red to the GOP in 2022. Now, the GOP has been trying to take back the House of Representatives because they feel like that the Senate is sort of out of their hands anymore. And I did make a set of predictions. If you guys had like a prediction today, if you guys haven't yet, go check that video out. I do not think Republicans are going to take back the Senate. I think their best shot is the House of Representatives. But because, yes, the Senate is only one away, they need one more and they take Senate majority to tie, but Kamala Harris tie breaks that tie. And the House is 5 seats away. Just depending on how big they want to take that majority. But the House, the Senate might look easier, but in general, Democrats are expected to pick up more seats in the United States Senate. In 2020, Democrats had a 97% chance of holding the House of Representatives, and they did hold the House of Representatives, but they lost a number of seats. They lost 14 House districts to the Republican Party, and the Republican Party is expected to do even better in 2022 when it comes to House districts. They are going to be able to flip a lot of House districts, and these are their 47 targets. These are targets that the GOP, these are districts that the GOP wants to target. The GOP thinks they can flip. They're definitely not going to flip all 47, but they're going to try to flip as many of these as possible to, one, get majority, and two, expand their majority. Not just getting majority by one seat, by getting majority by the biggest amount possible, because the bigger the better, because the Democratic Party cannot reflip the House of Representatives. So the GOP is mostly targeting the House, not as much on the Senate. So this is basically very important for the GOP because the GOP doesn't get this House of Representatives back. They have no houses, unless they wait till 2024. This is very important for the GOP to block, Joe Biden's, things, infrastructure, COVID-19 relief bill, a lot of these things that Joe Biden, job creation. And the reason that Obama and, Donald Trump wasn't able to get things, Donald Trump had, when he was elected, he had a Republican House, Republican Senate, and Republican presidency. But in 2018, the midterms, Democrats flipped the House. So when Trump tried to pass things like the Border Wall Act and a lot of other things, the Democratic Party could block them because God has to go to the House and the Senate and the presidency. But in order to get to the Senate, it has to go through the House. But it didn't go through the House because of the Democratic majority. And sometimes you want to have a super majority. You want to have as big a majority as possible because it's 50-50 right now. That means if Joe Manchin goes with the Republicans, then if he opposed, the relief bill or something else, Joe Manchin opposes that, then it's not going to pass the Senate and it's not going anywhere. So Democrats want to have a bigger majority, maybe 53 or 54. So even if Kyrsten Sinema or Joe Manchin votes with the Republican Party, they still are able to hold that majority. They still have that lead, even if Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema votes with the Republican Party. And that's what they want to do. Because they know that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema could vote either way, and they don't want that to happen. So they are going to try to expand the majority in the Senate and House of Representatives. But in the House of Representatives, these are the 47 GOP targets that Democrats currently hold that the GOP is going to attack. Obviously, they're not going to be able to take all of these. So these are all the districts. There are 47 districts currently listed. Now, there are many I want to go over, and many that are not, the easiest to go over. So if you look at Arizona's first district, Arizona in general, it was a close race. Let's look at Arizona's first district. So let's look at the House of Representatives, first district. Went to the Democratic Party, but just look how close this was. This was within a 3% margin. This is a battleground district. They held the seat, but this is definitely a district they can flip. But I think there are many easier ones. This is a first district of, so they lost by approximately so they lost 1 point, they lost by not the biggest of margins, about 3 percentage points. So that was pretty decent. They need to improve that. Shed loss in that district. So, Republicans could do that. But let's go over a few more. Arizona's 2nd district. So let's see the 2nd district. Now, this is not as easy of a district. This is the southeastern region. This is like Pima County. Why? Because these are mostly Hispanic voters. This is not a district I can see Republicans picking up. It was a 10% margin of victory. I don't see that happening. Now, I can see the 1st district going because of suburban voters. Suburban voters in this region, in this 1st district region, northeastern part of the state. But this is the southeastern corner of the state, Pima County area, Tucson area, east of Tucson. This is Hispanic and Latino voters who will vote enormously Democratic. So no, that's probably not the biggest one, not the best seat, not the best district for the Republicans to pick up. Arizona 2nd district, probably not the best. So here's the map currently. So if Republicans go ahead and pick up, this is the 1st district of Arizona. Here's the 2nd district in blue, that little corner. Probably not going to pick that up. So that expands there to up to 214. So they defeat Arizona's 1st district, Tom Mulherin. It's his 2nd term, so they do have that incumbency since 2017. So they do have that incumbency. You won in 2018. So it's still not the easiest thing to flip, but they can do it. Now let's move on. California's 3rd. Okay, let's go over to California's 3rd. In fact, let's go to California. And California is not, it's a liberal state, but when it comes to districts, it can be very easy to flip. So California's 3rd. This is a not very easy district to flip. If we go over to California's 3rd, it's a Northern California district. Let me find it here. It was won by like 10 percentage points. Yeah, so there it is. So I'm going to characterize it in gray so you're able to see it. So, this is a district that Republicans want to flip, but this is also not their best chances. This is a pretty big margin of victory for the Democratic Party. This is a 10% margin of victory. A lot of these districts Republicans want to flip are not even flippable. A lot of them are, solid Democratic districts. And I think the Republican Party needs to focus on on less than 47 districts. Because 47 districts they're not going to be able to flip them. They're not going to be, this is just not going to work out. 47 districts, not really going to work very well. So I put them at 213. They were at 212. Okay. So they still need a lot more districts. So let's go over the next district. Let's see who actually serves in this district in California. So we're going to characterize this district red. And we're going to see who's in here. Mendy, he actually served from 2009. That's a big incumbency. He won for that long. No, I don't see Republicans flipping that district. I'm going to go ahead and take that back. I don't see Republicans flipping this district. Let's move on to a few more. Another one was California's 10th district. So let's go to California's 10th. Democrats held the seat. This is another 10% margin of victory. Democrats have the incumbency. So, nobody flipped the seat. In general, it's not going to happen. I don't see Republicans picking that up. So far, I only got one. So, California's 45th district. Let's go over to California 45.